What new games have just been recently announced that you should be excited for? And is there anything exciting coming to games that you already love? So here's all of the recent ones in one place. We'll start with an action-packed 2-pack that's been 25 years in the remaking. Legacy of Kain, Soul Reaver 1 and 2 Remastered, set to arrive on December 10th. These spooky third-person adventures let players take control of the recently reanimated vampire as he battles other bloodsuckers, solves puzzles, and tries to settle a few scores with a few badly behaved elder gods. The remaster will let players toggle between new high-fidelity graphics and that classic fuzzy look, and will also feature things like modern controls, a photo mode, and even the day-night cycle that was cut from the original game. Bear with me a second. Let's get ready to rumble in the new anime-style battle royale game Asurajang Rumble. This top-down fighter is all about mixing it up melee style as up to 33 players duke it out inside an ever-shrinking arena. You can pair up, play as a trio, or go for an every player for themselves slugfest. Whatever you choose, you'll find that the game's combat system is deep and rewarding, allowing players to rack up combos and pull off perfectly timed counters before unleashing a devastating ultimate move. There's no release date for Asurajang Rumble yet, but we'll be sure to tell you as soon as we find out more, and the same goes for all of these other games. So make sure you're subscribing and ring the notification bell. The Lunar Remastered Collection brings back a pair of beloved JRPGs 25 whole years after their original release. That's an entire Kylian Mbappe. This new collection contains both Lunar Silver Star Story and Lunar 2 Eternal Blue. The first game tells the story of a simple island boy who has to take down an evil magic emperor, while the follow-up tells another fantastical tale that takes place a full 1,000 years later. That's very many Kylian Mbappes. Promising enhanced graphics, audio, and quality of life improvements, the Lunar Remastered Collection will be released in spring 2025. Oh, to be a simple raccoon delivering packages on his BMX. Tanuki Pond Summer lets players live out that fantasy as they try to earn enough money to restore the local shrine to its former glory. Along the way, you'll get to know the local residents, basically all of whom are delightfully eccentric. And you'll find plenty of other activities to try your tiny little oddly human hands at as well, from fishing to baseball to the noble art of kebab assembly. The whole game is just bursting with charm and colour, and while we don't know exactly when Tanuki Pond Summer is going to arrive, I simply cannot wait for that package to arrive. Continuing the theme of animals with an in-your-face attitude and surprising athletic abilities, TMNT Shredder's Revenge recently showed off its latest and last DLC expansion. Radical Reptiles throws two more fan-favorite characters into the mix, Mondo Gecko and Mona Lisa. Not that Mona Lisa though, a different lizardy one. This is the first time either character has appeared as a playable option in a video game, and they've both got really distinctive fighting styles for players to master, with Mondo Gecko surfing stylishly through the stages on his board, while Mona Lisa takes to the air with her patented super flying kick. The Radical Reptiles DLC is available now, and you'll find the game itself available in the Game Pass library. Age of Mythology Retold gave gamers the chance to play God earlier this year when it arrived as a Day 1 Game Pass release, and now it's got an extremely auspicious looking expansion on the way. Slated to arrive before 2024 is out, Immortal Pillars will add a Chinese faction to the folklore-infused real-time strategy game. That means you can unleash bull-headed war gods onto the battlefield and fight from above with your ferocious dragons. There will be a whole new campaign to check out, along with the option to take the new Chinese pantheon into battle in online multiplayer. If you're an animal lover whose passion for furry friends burns so brightly that not even a global nuclear catastrophe can diminish it, then you're in luck. Camp Pets are coming to Fallout 76. Bethesda's apocalyptic multiplayer game, which is available now on Game Pass by the way, will be getting an update sometime in 2024 that allows players to add a cat or a dog to their camps. Yay! And while they won't be joining you out on your wasteland adventure, your pets can be interacted with in a bunch of different ways. And honestly, just watching them wander about the camp should be enough to restore your spirit after another brutal day of questing. We recently also got another look at the hellish things awaiting players next year when the third-person actioner Hell Is Us arrives. Not only has the whole country fallen into a state of civil war, brother against brother, sister against nephew, third aunt against father-in-law twice removed, the whole shebang, but a race of supernatural creatures has also started running rampant. These chimeras are immune to modern weaponry too, so you'll have to learn to swing swords, spears and axes if you want to survive in the semi-open worlds of Hell Is Us. And when you're not being stalked by terrifying monsters, you'll also get to enjoy the game's unique exploration system, which removes the map and markers to create a real sense of discovery for you. Introverts, assemble! Come October 22nd, it's time to fear the spotlight. This disturbing third-person horror has players sneaking into school after hours and conducting a seance with disastrous consequences. How disastrous, you may ask? Well, safe to say that the whole no running in the corridors business is going right out the window. Fear the Spotlight is channeling some serious 90s horror vibes, and whether you've been playing terrifying titles since way back then, or you're new to the whole genre, it looks like the ideal game to treat yourself with this Halloween. Dynasty Warriors is coming back with a bang next year on January 17th, and the recent showcases have given us a much better idea of what to expect from Origins. And mostly you should expect to be outnumbered. Very outnumbered. Origins tells the tale of a nameless warrior who rises up out of obscurity to conquer the Three Kingdoms. And while this action-packed series has always been known for its sprawling, chaotic battlefields, Origins will seriously test players' hacking and slashing abilities with 1 versus 1,000 brawls. Which doesn't really seem entirely fair, but does sound like a whole lot of fun. Wilds is the newest addition to the Monster Hunter series, and it's set to arrive on February 28th next year. This time around, the hunt will take players to a brand new region known as the Forbidden Lands. And from what we've seen so far, it looks like there was a pretty good reason that they were forbidden. Here, the weather can change drastically at a moment's notice, totally changing the battlefield and the behavior of the monsters within it in the process. Quick thinking and adaptability are going to be the keys this time around as you learn to survive in a world of constant flux, and also monsters. Arriving just in time for the holidays on December 5th, Fantasian Neo Dimension is an old-school RPG with all sorts of new ideas. It takes place in a world where humanity is plagued by a strange mechanical infection that slowly steals their lives. As you search for a cure and try to recover some of your lost memories in the process, you'll be taken to a whole new dimension and do battle with all sorts of strange creatures. The battles here feature a really clever mechanic that has you lining up enemies to make your attacks as effective as possible. So if you're a veteran turn-based battler looking for a new challenge, put Fantasian Neo Dimension on your list. Promising the next evolution of the MMORPG genre, Archeage Chronicles certainly isn't shy on confidence, but from what we've seen so far, it can back it up. Not only does Archeage Chronicles give players a truly stunning fantasy world to explore, but its combat is as deep and dynamic as you'd expect in a single-player action game. You can mix magic with melee and ranged attacks, dashes, dodges, rolls, and parries in all sorts of deadly combinations, and so can all the other players that you're fighting alongside. With all that variety on offer, the action in Archeage Chronicles could be something pretty special when the game arrives sometime next year. We also got more info on sequels to much loved first games, starting with the release date for a follow-up to one of the best detective puzzle games ever made. The Rise of the Golden Idol has you surveying 20 crime scenes and digesting the information presented in front of you to create the story of what happened. Your powers of deduction will never be more put to the test than with these games, especially as the difficulty ramps up and you have to spot the connections between the cases. If you fancy seeing if this is for you, the first game, The Case of the Golden Idol, is available right now on Xbox Game Pass, so why not take the plunge and give it a go? Now, in 2024, we've gone crazy for everything from brat summers to baby hippos, but it's been a particularly good year for our old pal, the Xenomorph. They made their big return to the big screen, and now 10 years since the finest video gaming hour, the extraterrestrial killing machine will be scaring us out of our minds all over again in the sequel to Alien Isolation. One of just the best games ever, by the way. The game is only in the very early stages of development, so whereas in the dark here as Ripley's crew were when they first wandered into that room of weird damp eggs. But given how terrifying the first game was, what with its frighteningly advanced Xenomorph AI, I'm feeling very good and also very scared about the follow-up. Which of these recent additions to the great gaming calendar are you most looking forward to? Sound off in the comments below, I'll be checking, and we'll see you next time. Bye!